Hey you all, I'm in Washington, D.C. and I'm about to visit the Thomas Jefferson Memorial, the memorial to our third president, the writer of the Declaration of Independence, and a true Renaissance man. Let's go check this out.
The memorial was completed in 1943, making it one of the older memorials. It is in the neoclassical style, a favorite of Jefferson, who is an architect, but this was designed by John Russell Pope. It is designed like the Pantheon in Rome, probably the best example of that style and one of Jefferson's favorite buildings. It's also similar to what he used to design the University of Virginia and Monticello. Inside there's a 19-foot tall statue of Jefferson by Rudolph Evans. The statue is actually not originally in the memorial. Thomas Jefferson was born in 1743 near Richmond, Virginia, to a well-off plantation family, and with his inheritance, he bought the land that would become Monticello. Along with being a planter all his life, he first became a lawyer, then elected to the Virginia House of Burgesses. Then in 1774, he got involved with the First Continental Congress and led the Virginia delegation there, which was pretty bold against King George III. Then at the Second Continental Congress in 1776, he wrote the Declaration of Independence, the Charter for American and Universal Liberties, and declaring independence from Great Britain, and it's also one of the most important documents ever written. Here's some of his quotes and writings engraved on the walls. Also, his work in Virginia politics included the Statute for Religious Freedom, which ended the religious establishment in Virginia. Jefferson was more of a deist, which almost everyone at the time was super orthodox, so I really appreciate that aspect of him that makes him unique among many historical figures in American history. He was governor of Virginia from 1779 to 1781, which is when the British invaded Virginia. He was minister to France after the American Revolution. Then he became the first Secretary of State in President George Washington's administration. This marked the beginning of partisanship in American politics because of the rivalry and disagreements between him and Secretary of the Treasury Alexander Hamilton. He helped form the Democratic-Republican Party. He lost the 1796 presidential election to John Adams, but he won in 1800, becoming the third president of the United States. And this was the first time the transfer of power was conducted peacefully between two opposite parties and ideologies. In his 2 terms as president, he secured the Louisiana Purchase, doubling the size of the nation, and aided the Lewis and Clark expedition. He did have some foreign problems, though. The Embargo Act that banned American merchant ships from foreign ports damaged the national economy. There were the Barbary pirates, and he maintained neutrality in the conflict between France and Great Britain, which is very difficult, and it ended up that the British would invade the US in James Madison's term. After the presidency, he lived at Monticello for another 17 years. One very bad aspect about him is that he was a slave owner and had sexual relations with one of his slaves. He was also in a lot of debt when he died. He died on July 4th, 1826, a few hours before his former rival, but then good friend, John Adams, on the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. So this is a fitting tribute to one of the most important figures in American history. I have videos on all the other National Mall memorials, so please go check those out. and thanks for watching.